I tried speed hushing my living room and kids' toys, and here's how it went. So let me start off by showing you what we started with. I tried to film this without filming too much of my kids because they're home at the moment, it's school holidays. I actually filmed this on a weekend, so they were all around. Anyway, they were sat on the sofa watching some TV, having some chill time. But as the video went on, my kids became more and more involved, and they basically ended up, some of them anyway, being a bit in the video. So whatever, we do what we can. I try not to film too much of my kids, but also they are a part of the journey, so they are often in the background of my videos as I go. So I started out by just trying to clear as much as I possibly could, taking everything like surface wise away. So the concept of hushing is that you remove all surface clutter, everything visible, and then you put it in a different room for at least a day, preferably a few days, and you live in the space with, like, you know, bare space basically. You can have things in cupboards, things out of sight, but you don't have anything kind of in view. You have a peaceful space, you live in it like that, and then you make conscious decisions as to what you bring back into the space, and make decisions about what you might want to declutter entirely, or, you know, pack away if you need to keep something but you don't want it in sight. And I did this in my kitchen recently, and it was a total game changer. Like, my kitchen looks so much better now, and it did lead to me making some decisions about some larger items in the kitchen that I am sure I would not have considered otherwise. Like the fruit bowl that we had, or I say bowl, it wasn't a bowl, but the fruit container that we had out, and the container that we had our like washing up brushes and sponges in. Like, getting rid of those has made such a difference to the space, but I would never have considered getting rid of them previously. And it's so much easier to keep the kitchen tidy now. Like, it feels a much calmer space. So the living room, where we have our kids' toys, it generally does get quite chaotic. So we don't have a separate toy room of any sort. My kids don't have a lot of toys in their bedrooms. Most of our toys are in our living room, and every surface had become cluttered. So first up, I just want to get all of those toys, put them onto the dining room table. So this coffee table, I love this coffee table. Practically, like, if I was being really practical, it would go. Like, the whole coffee table would go. But I love it. I don't know what it is about it. I really, really love it. A friend of mine suggested that I put it in storage. I don't have storage. I don't want to pay for storage. So if I had a garage, maybe I would store it, because a house, if I'm being honest, probably just isn't big enough for it. But I really love it. So we continue to have the coffee table, even though it basically stores a few toys and is in the way. Our kids also, I say our kids, really this is our youngest now, but all of our kids, when they have been toddlers, have posted toys in the middle of the coffee table. So that's what you saw me doing just there. I was using a light and the dustpan to knock the toys into the hole in the centre so they come out the bottom. And one of my kids helped me by pulling some of the toys out. So once we got all of the toys together onto the dining room table, I started to go through them. But just take a moment here and look how many toys. Some of them are on the bench behind as well, most of them on the table, but my goodness me, there was a lot of toys. This shocked me, actually. I didn't realise just how many toys were out on the floor or on the surfaces, and there was a lot. There was a hell of a lot. So this was a great exercise at just establishing how much we had out and having a bit of a tidy up. I would say that for me, this speed hushing exercise was more tidying than it was decluttering, but I did declutter some items and a couple of bigger items. So it was useful exercise in decluttering. I say speed hushing because I had fully intended on like properly hushing each space in my house. But it's now the school summer holidays. I'm still working. I've taken a couple of days off. My husband's taken a couple of days off, and we've all got a week off towards the end of the holidays. But I am still working. My kids, my two older kids, are in like a day camp, but it's shorter hours than usual. I'm trying to cram all my working hours into a much smaller window of time, which means I'm working more evenings to make up for it. and it's a lot. Like, work is really busy. It hasn't calmed down for summer yet at all. It's been chaotically busy in the last couple of weeks. And then we have the summer holiday, like, bonkerness. So I just not had time to do any serious, like, tidying up, cleaning, decluttering in the house. But we were actually going out. My husband and I were going out this particular evening, and we have not been out together for so long. Neither of us can remember when it was we last went out together and what it was we did. So months and months and months since we have been out, just the two of us. We've got my cousin coming in to babysit. We're going out to see a gig. And I just thought, my cousin's going to sit in this space while the kids are asleep, like waiting for us to come home. And it felt really, really stressful to me. And I'm quite used to it. So I thought, if you're not somebody who's used to loads of kids' toys around, my cousin doesn't have kids, I think that could be like quite a stressful evening, sat in my living room, surrounded by toys, and I wanted to tidy up. I thought, well, if I'm going to tidy up, let's try and use this method in a way that I can in the time that I had. I had very limited time. So I had probably, I think it was between half an hour, 45 minutes to do this. So not a lot of time at all. Certainly not enough time to leave all the toys on the table for a day or two. I needed to get them away and then put them back. But I wanted to physically move them all away from the space so I could really look at the space and make some decisions, even if they were quick decisions, about what I wanted to stay, what I wanted to go, and where I might rehouse some things. So as part of this exercise, I did look at better using the toy storage space that we have, because some of the cubes that we have are like half full or a third full. So I thought we can put stuff together, and then like I created an empty cube that I could put all of the dolls' clothes in and all of the stuff like that was related to dolls, because at the moment the toy crib has been serving as a storage unit for all the doll stuff. But then that means that my daughter isn't playing with the crib. The crib now is just a storage unit, which is not what it was intended to be. And then everything is taken out every day and it just goes everywhere. And that's probably still going to happen, right? But I thought, wouldn't it be better if we have a cube full of the doll stuff, so it's all together in one place, but then the crib itself is clearer and more accessible to be played with as it was intended to be. And this worked really well. And in fact, like the following day, my daughter, my 2-year-old, wanted to play with the crib out in our kind of front garden, front green area with our neighbour's 3-year-old. And they both got their cribs out and their dolls out and they dressed up and they played lovely. And I just thought she wouldn't have thought about that, and it just wouldn't have been possible if the toy crib had been full of stuff. So it was definitely a beneficial exercise for so many reasons. As I was going through things, my kids started to get involved, particularly my middle child said he wanted to help. And I was asking him questions about things. Do you want this? Do you not? He made some great decisions about things that could go, but also he was helping me to tidy some things up. So if I gave him some instructions, could you collect the so-and-sos from the table and put them away, then he could go and do that. And it was genuinely helpful. And I think it was really good to try to get him involved as well. I'm trying to get my kids more involved in decluttering, in tidying up. And I think they're really grasping the need for it. And then, before we know it, he didn't want to help me anymore and he wanted to do some writing. So that is fine. I managed to get things tidied up around him. And firstly, let me just remind you, this is what it was looking like when I started. So we have stuff everywhere. Now, I do use the bottom of that coffee table for like a toy rotation. So I'm happy with toys being there, but I'm not happy with stuff being all over every surface. We've got the toy swing out. We've got toys all over the top of the toy units. Just stuff everywhere. Everywhere you can see, things have been thrown down and just accumulating in every corner. We've got doll stuff all over the floor. And now that little pile on the floor was the stuff that we decluttered. So there were some really big items there, a little ride-on horsey thing, a Lego storage box. There were, quite a few things there that we actually did manage to declutter. And then here, didn't manage to rehome this wing. I just couldn't find a home for it easily. I could not think of where it could go, and it's still there now, several days later that I'm editing this video. But we got stuff moved, like the baby crib is clear, just got the dolls in, and the coffee table was nice and clear. And I'm just showing this video I took the day that I edited this video. So this is about 4 days later, and you can see how we've managed to maintain it. Yes, some things have crept back up on the coffee table. They were played with today. That's always going to happen. But overall, it is looking much tidier. We've got some tidy spaces on top of the toy boxes. It is all looking way better. I'm really pleased with this. For a super quick, easy declutter and tidy, I will see you in the next one. Bye.